My daughter asked, "Mommy, can I eat it?" My mother-in-law smiled and said, "Of course." 10 minutes later, we were racing to the hospital. My husband defended her memory. So I stopped arguing and started documenting everything. Before that day, I still believed people could be careless without being cruel. I believed family could be difficult without being dangerous. I believed my husband's mother was rude, dismissive, and stubborn, but not the kind of woman who would risk a child just to prove a point. I was wrong. My daughter, Anna, has a severe peanut allergy. Not the kind where she gets a little rash and needs medicine. The kind where one wrong bite can turn a normal afternoon into an emergency. We found out when she was very small. After that, our life became labels, safe snacks, allergy plans, and EpiPens in every bag. It was scary, but we adjusted. Most people adjusted with us. My mother-in-law, Deborah, did not. She acted like Anna's allergy was an insult to her cooking. Every rule became, in her mind, proof that I was dramatic and controlling. At family dinners, she made little comments under her breath. In my day, children ate what they were given. Or, parents scare kids too much now. Or, a little exposure is how the body learns. The first time she said that, I put my fork down and said, "That is not how life-threatening allergies work." She smiled at me like I was a child. "Well, you would know," she said. "You've made it your whole personality." My husband, Jason, heard it. He always heard it. But around his mother, he had a way of going quiet, like disagreeing with her required a strength he had never learned. On the drive home, I told him, "Your mother cannot say things like that around Anna." He sighed. "I know. No, Jason. I mean it. She doesn't take this seriously. She says ignorant things," he said. "That doesn't mean she would hurt Anna." And that was the problem. Jason thought his mother was ignorant. I thought she was arrogant. The difference almost cost us everything. The cookie incident happened during Sunday lunch at Deborah's house. She had been begging us to come over for weeks. I kept saying no. Jason kept asking me to give her another chance. She promised she checked everything, he told me that morning. She even asked which brands were safe. I was packing Anna's safe snacks when he said it. She asked because she cares, he added quietly. I zipped the bag and looked at him. Or because she wants us to stop saying no. He looked tired. "Please. I just want one normal afternoon. One normal afternoon." That phrase sat in my chest the whole drive. Deborah opened the door wearing one of her soft cardigans and that careful smile she used when she wanted everyone to see how sweet she was being. "There's my little girl," she said, bending toward Anna. Anna tucked herself slightly behind my leg. Deborah noticed. Her smile tightened. Lunch was tense, but manageable. Deborah served chicken, potatoes, and green beans. I checked everything before Anna ate, and Deborah made a show of being patient. Then she brought out the cookies. They were warm, soft-looking, and dusted with sugar. Anna looked up at me. "Mommy, can I eat it?" Before I could answer, Deborah said, "Of course." I looked at her. "What's in them?" Her smile stayed in place. "I checked everything. I need the ingredients." She sighed just loud enough for Jason to hear. "Flour, sugar, butter, eggs, vanilla." I used the safe brand Jason gave me. I even cleaned the counter twice. Jason touched my arm under the table. "Not now." I hated that I listened. I hated that a part of me still wanted peace more than I wanted to be right. So I checked the plate. I checked the flour bag she pointed to. Everything looked normal. I let Anna take the cookie. 2 bites. That was all. At first, she rubbed her mouth. Then she coughed. Then she coughed again, harder. I leaned down. "Baby, does your throat feel funny?" She nodded. Her cheeks started turning red. Her eyes watered. Then she made a small frightened sound that still follows me when the house gets too quiet. "Mommy." I grabbed the EpiPen from my bag. Jason stood so fast his chair scraped the floor. Deborah froze near the sink. I pressed the injector into Anna's thigh while she screamed and clutched my shirt. I kept my voice steady because that is what mothers do when they are falling apart inside. "You're okay. I've got you. Breathe for me." But she wasn't okay. Not yet. We rushed to the hospital. I sat in the back seat with Anna across my lap, watching her chest rise and fall, begging every second of the drive not to become worse. At the hospital, everything became lights, voices, monitors, and questions. What did she eat? How much? How long ago? Any known allergy? Yes. Peanuts. Severe. After Anna was stable, after her breathing evened out, after I finally stopped shaking enough to hold a paper cup of water, Deborah called Jason. He stepped into the hallway, but I followed. He put the phone on speaker because I think he expected us all to comfort each other. Instead, I heard his mother crying. "I don't know what happened," she said. "I swear I checked. Maybe I picked up the wrong container. My memory has been so bad lately." I stared at the phone. Jason closed his eyes. "Mom," he said softly. "I would never hurt her," Deborah said. "You know that. I'm just getting older. I forget things." There it was. The excuse. Not, "I should have never baked anything." Not, "I should have listened to you." Not, "I put my pride before your daughter's safety." Just memory. Jason turned to me after the call ended, pale and shaken. "She didn't mean it," he whispered. I looked past him at the room where our daughter was lying in a hospital bed. "She promised me those cookies were safe. She said she got confused. She had one job." "I know." "No, you don't," I said. "You're already forgiving her." He flinched. "I'm trying to understand. You're trying to protect her from consequences." He did not answer. That silence told me everything. Later that night, when Anna was home and asleep, I sat beside her bed with my phone in my hand. A message came in from Deborah. "Please don't keep my granddaughter away from me over one mistake. I feel terrible. My memory is getting worse, and I need compassion right now." Compassion. My daughter had been in a hospital bed, and Deborah was asking for compassion. I took a screenshot. Then I took another of the call log. Then I opened a blank note on my phone and wrote the date, the time, what Anna ate, what Deborah said before, what Deborah said after, and every detail I could remember. I did not know yet what I was building. I only knew that if everyone needed proof before they believed me, I would give them proof. For the next few days, Jason acted like a man split in half. He slept near Anna's room. He checked on her constantly. He cried in the shower when he thought I could not hear him. But whenever Deborah's name came up, his guilt turned into defense. "She's not a monster," he said one night. "I didn't say she was. You look at me like I'm choosing her. Are you?" He looked hurt. "That's not fair. What's not fair is that Anna ended up in the hospital because your mother wanted to prove I overreact." He stood from the kitchen table and walked away. That became our pattern. I brought up Deborah. Jason shut down. Deborah texted him constantly. Long messages about how devastated she was, how lonely she felt, how she could not sleep because she imagined Anna hating her. Not once did she ask what the doctor said. Not once did she ask what safety plan we needed going forward. Everything was about her pain. A week after the hospital, she sent me another message. "I hope one day you understand that grandparents make mistakes too." I stared at it for a long time before replying. "A mistake is forgetting napkins. You gave my child food after promising it was safe. We need space." She did not answer me. She called Jason. He went into the garage, but the door was not fully closed. I heard enough. "She's punishing me," Deborah sobbed. "She's using Anna to hurt me." Jason said, "Mom, Anna ended up in the hospital." I said I was sorry. "You also said you forgot." "I did forget." "Then that's serious too." There was a pause. For the first time, Jason had not fully defended her. It was small, but I noticed. That night, I called my friend Melissa. She had always taken Anna's allergy seriously. She never made me feel dramatic. She never rolled her eyes at the safe snack bag. She just asked what we needed and did it. When I told her what happened, she was quiet for a while. Then she said, "Stop trying to convince people with emotion." "What?" "You're right to be emotional," she said. "But Deborah knows how to use emotion against you. She'll cry. She'll say you hate her. She'll say she forgot. You need a record." I started one. "Good. Keep it clean. Dates. Messages. Photos if there are any. Doctor notes. No threats. No rants. Just facts." I looked at the note on my phone. It suddenly felt less like paranoia and more like a life jacket. So I kept going. I saved every message. I wrote down every call Jason told me about. I kept copies of Anna's discharge instructions and allergy plan. I asked the hospital for paperwork confirming the reaction and treatment. Then came the first real crack in Jason's denial. 2 weeks after the hospital, Deborah dropped off a gift bag at our front door. Jason found it when he came home. Inside were coloring books, a stuffed bunny, and a small container of homemade muffins wrapped in plastic. My stomach tightened. There was a note taped to the top. "For my sweet girl. These are safe. Grandma loves you." Jason looked at me and went pale. I did not yell. I picked up my phone, took pictures of the bag, the note, and the muffins, then placed everything in a sealed container. Jason watched me. "What are you doing?" "Documenting. They're probably safe." I looked at him. Probably is not a word we use with Anna's life. He swallowed. I'll call her. No. Text her. Ask what's in them. He hesitated. Jason. He texted. A minute later, Deborah replied. Oh, for heaven's sake. They're banana muffins. I'm not giving anyone poison. Jason read it out loud, then stopped. Because he heard it too. Not an ingredient list. Not reassurance. Deflection. He texted again. Mom, what brand ingredients did you use? She replied almost immediately. I don't remember every little thing. If Laura doesn't want them, throw them away. I'm done being treated like a criminal. Jason sat down at the kitchen table and rubbed his forehead. She doesn't get it, he said. No, I said. She gets it. She just doesn't think the rules apply to her. He did not argue. A few days later, his cousin Kevin called. He said the family was concerned. That was the word they used when they meant angry, but wanted to sound reasonable. Jason put the call on speaker because I asked him to. Kevin said Deborah was heartbroken. He said we were taking one accident too far. He said mothers and grandmothers deserved grace. I listened until I could not anymore. Kevin, I said, did Deborah tell you she dropped off homemade muffins after the hospital? Silence. Jason looked at me. Kevin cleared his throat. No. Did she tell you she refused to give us the ingredients? More silence. That's different, Kevin said finally. Yes, I said. It is. The call ended awkwardly. Within an hour, Deborah texted Jason. I cannot believe your wife is turning people against me. Jason stared at the message. For once, he did not respond. That night, he sat beside me after Anna went to bed. I don't know how to handle this, he said. It was the most honest thing he had said since the hospital. I put my phone down. You don't have to destroy your mother, I said. But you do have to protect your daughter. His eyes filled with tears. I know. Do you? He covered his face with his hands. I want to. That answer hurt, but it was real. And real was better than denial. For a while, Deborah changed tactics. She stopped texting me and focused on Jason. Her messages became softer, sadder, more careful. I miss my family. I wake up crying. I don't understand how one mistake erased years of love. I never meant to hurt anyone. Jason wanted to believe her. I could see it. Every message pulled at the part of him that had spent his life managing his mother's feelings. So I asked him to come with me to Anna's allergy follow-up appointment. At first, he looked confused. I already know she has an allergy. No, I said. You know the word. I need you to hear what it means from someone who is not me. He agreed. The allergy specialist was calm and direct. He explained what severe peanut exposure could do. He explained that reactions could be unpredictable. He explained that adults caring for Anna had to treat food safety as non-negotiable. Then he looked at Jason and said, the biggest risk to a child with a severe allergy is often an adult who does not believe the rules matter. Jason went very still. I did not look at him. I let the words land without helping them. After the appointment, we sat in the car for a long time. Jason finally said, I think I needed to hear that. I nodded. He gripped the steering wheel. If my mom really forgot, then she can't be trusted with food. If she didn't forget. He did not finish. He did not need to. That was the moment he finally saw the trap Deborah had built for herself. Either she was too careless to be trusted, or too proud to be trusted. Both answers led to the same boundary. No unsupervised access. No homemade food. No exceptions. When Jason told Deborah, she lost control. She sent a message so long it arrived in pieces. She said I had brainwashed him. She said I was isolating Anna from her family. She said allergies were real, but mothers like me made them worse by teaching children fear. She said Jason was breaking her heart. Then she made one mistake. She wrote, I knew one bite would not seriously hurt her. Children are stronger than you think. Jason read that sentence 3 times. His face changed. Not with rage. With grief. She knew, he whispered. I took a screenshot. So did he. After that, the record grew quickly. Deborah's neighbor, Sharon, called me one afternoon. I barely knew her, so I was surprised to see her name on my phone. Her voice was nervous. I don't want to get involved, she said. People always say that right before they get involved. But I heard what happened, she continued. And I thought you should know something. I sat down slowly. Sharon told me that before the lunch, Deborah had complained about my ridiculous food rules while they were outside talking. She said Deborah joked that maybe Anna needed a little real-life testing. My throat tightened. Are you sure she said that? I'm sure, Sharon said. At the time, I thought it was just a nasty comment. After what happened, it didn't feel harmless anymore. I thanked her. Then I wrote it down. When I told Jason, he did not defend Deborah. He only asked, would Sharon be willing to put that in writing? She was. The legal consultation happened a few days later. I did not go behind Jason's back. I told him exactly what I was doing. I'm speaking to a family lawyer, I said. Not to punish your mother. To understand how to protect Anna if this gets worse. He looked exhausted. Then he said, I'll come with you. I did not expect that. The lawyer, Stephanie, listened without dramatizing anything. She looked through the hospital paperwork, the messages, the muffin photos, the neighbor statement, and the allergy plan. Then she said, you are not wrong to set strict boundaries. Jason let out a breath like he had been holding it for weeks. Stephanie explained that we did not need to turn everything into a war if Deborah cooperated. We could create written boundaries. No food from Deborah. No unsupervised visits. No access to Anna at school or family events without us present. If Deborah ignored those boundaries, then we had documentation showing why stronger steps might be necessary. It sounded almost too simple. No screaming. No dramatic revenge. Just a wall Deborah could no longer guilt her way through. Jason sent the boundary message himself. Mom, we love you, but Anna's safety comes first. Because of what happened and your messages afterward, you cannot give Anna food or be alone with her. Visits can happen only with us present and only if you respect the allergy plan. If you argue, minimize, or bring food, the visit ends. Deborah called immediately. Jason did not answer. She called again. Then the messages came. You are choosing your wife over your mother. I made one mistake. You will regret treating me this way. Jason read them at the kitchen table. Then he turned his phone face down. She's not even asking how Anna is, he said. I said nothing, because he finally understood. The confrontation happened 2 weeks later at a family gathering. We almost did not go, but Jason wanted to face the family once, clearly, so the story could not keep spreading without our side. I agreed on one condition. We would bring Anna's food ourselves, stay together, and leave the second anyone crossed a line. The air felt tense the moment we arrived. People were too polite, too quiet. Deborah sat on the couch with red eyes and a tissue in her hand, looking like a woman wronged by the world. Anna held my hand tightly. Jason squeezed my shoulder. For the first hour, everything stayed civil. Then dessert came out. Deborah stood up with a small plate in her hand. My body reacted before my mind did. Jason stepped in front of her. Mom, he said. No. She blinked. It's just fruit. You do not hand Anna food. I washed it. I said no. The room went quiet. Deborah's face tightened. This is what she has done to you, she said, pointing at me. You don't even sound like my son anymore. Jason's voice shook, but he did not move. No. This is what happened when my daughter ended up in the hospital, and you cared more about being forgiven than being safe. Deborah started crying. I forgot one thing. Jason pulled out his phone. You wrote that you knew one bite would not seriously hurt her. Her crying stopped. Only for a second. But everyone saw it. Kevin looked at her. Deborah looked around and realized tears were not going to save her this time. You're really going to keep my granddaughter from me? She asked. Jason answered before I could. If you cannot respect what keeps her safe, yes. That was the moment everything changed. Not because Deborah apologized. She didn't. Not because the family suddenly understood everything. Some of them didn't. It changed because my husband finally stood between his mother and our daughter. And he did not move. After that day, life became quieter. Not peaceful right away. Just quieter. Deborah sent messages that sounded close to apologies, but every one of them had a hook hidden inside. I am sorry you felt scared. I am sorry things got so dramatic. I am sorry everyone misunderstood me. Jason stopped replying unless the message was about a scheduled visit. That was part of the boundary. No emotional debates over text. No surprise visits. No food. No unsupervised time. Deborah hated it. Of course she did. Boundaries feel cruel to people who are used to control being mistaken for love. The first supervised visit happened at a public park. I brought Anna snacks. Jason stayed close. Deborah arrived with empty hands, which should have been the bare minimum, but I still noticed it. She hugged Anna carefully. Anna hugged her back, but not with the same easy trust she used to have. That hurt more than I expected. Deborah had not only sent Anna to the hospital. She had stolen ease from her. She had made her question treats, kitchens, and people who were supposed to be safe. During the visit, Deborah behaved. She asked Anna about her drawings. She complimented her shoes. She did not mention food. Then, near the end, while Jason helped Anna on the swings, Deborah turned to me. Her smile was gone. "You must be proud," she said quietly. I looked at her. "Of what?" "You got what you wanted." I almost laughed, but I did not give her my anger. "What I wanted," I said, "was for you to believe me before Anna got hurt." Her eyes hardened. "You think you're perfect." "No," I said. "I think I'm responsible." She looked away first. That was when I realized I did not need her to understand. I did not need her to admit everything. I did not even need her to be sorry. I only needed her away from the parts of our life where her pride could become dangerous. Over the next few months, the family slowly adjusted. Some people still thought I was too harsh. Some thought Jason should have handled it privately. Some believed Deborah's version because it was easier than accepting the truth. But Kevin apologized. Not dramatically. Just a short message. I didn't know the whole story. "I'm sorry." I showed it to Jason. He nodded, but he did not smile. His grief was complicated. He had not only lost trust in his mother. He had lost the version of his childhood where her behavior was normal. Once he started seeing her clearly, he could not stop. That was painful for him. I did not celebrate it. We started counseling, not because our marriage was beyond repair, but because something had cracked and we needed help fixing it honestly. One night, after Anna fell asleep, Jason sat beside me on the edge of our bed. "I should have believed you sooner," he said. I looked at him. He had said versions of that before, but this one sounded different. Less defensive. More honest. I kept thinking if I admitted how bad it was, I would be admitting my mother was a bad person. And now? He stared at the floor. Now I think good people don't need to be protected from the truth. That stayed with me. Deborah still sees Anna sometimes, but never alone. Never with food. Never without one of us close enough to step in. She calls it punishment. I call it parenting. She tells people I turned her son against her. Maybe some of them believe her. I do not chase them anymore. The record exists. The hospital papers exist. The screenshots exist. The message where she wrote that she knew one bite would not seriously hurt Anna exists. That sentence became the line Jason could never uncross. I still think about the cookie. I think about Anna's small hand in mine. The way she looked up at me and asked if she could eat it. The way I said yes because I wanted one afternoon without a fight. For a long time, guilt sat beside me every night. Then one morning, Anna was eating breakfast at our kitchen table, safe food on a safe plate, swinging her feet under the chair. She looked up and asked if we could go to the park later. Just that. A normal question. A normal morning. And I realized this was the victory. Not Deborah crying. Not the family choosing sides. Not proving I was right. The victory was my daughter growing up in a home where her safety was not treated like a debate. Sometimes I wonder if I became too cold by saving every message, every note, every ugly little piece of proof. Then I remember my daughter in that hospital bed while Deborah called it a mistake. And I remember that the only reason people finally believed me was because I stopped begging and started documenting. So I will leave it here. Was I a mother protecting her child the only way people would finally take seriously, or did one terrifying day turn me into someone who could never trust family again?